A young man was fishing in an off-limits area, but he wasn't alone, despite there being no one around to see. That's because just a few paces away, a curious onlooker watched him. Instead of getting into a confrontation, however, the onlooker observed patiently for several hours as the young man did something quite strange. He would reel in fish after fish, then he'd simply let them go. And despite having a bucket filled with water by his side, he didn't keep a single fish. Curious about the young man's motives, the onlooker, who was a wise old turtle, approached. "Excuse me," he announced. Startled, the young man shuffled to his feet and quickly began reeling in his line. "Who's there?" he hollered, scanning the tree line with his eyes wide. "Down here," the wise turtle chuckled, waving his arm until he caught the young man's attention. To this, the young man's eyes grew even wider. "I have a question," the wise turtle continued, "and if you'd be so kind as to answer it, I'll give you a very special reward for your trouble." "You have my attention," the young man said, still shaken from the sight of a talking turtle. The wise turtle smiled and proceeded on. "Why not keep any of the fish?" To this, the young man sighed. "Because there's only one fish, a very important fish, that I'm trying to catch." "Well," the wise turtle puzzled, "perhaps if you tell me about this special fish, the reward I give you might help." With his curiosity piqued about the reward, the young man went on to tell the wise turtle about this special fish said to live in the deepest chasm of the creek, a fish that could be sold on the market for several decades worth of gold. But having tried to catch this special fish for days on end with no luck, the young man was close to giving up. Today was in fact the last day he would try. Having heard the young man's answer, the wise turtle kept his promise, and so he invited the young man into his shell. "It turns out I have just the thing to help with your quest," he grinned. Once inside, he handed the young man a lure for his fishing rod made from a bent bottle cap. The young man inspected it with a raised eyebrow. "Surely the lures I'm already using are better than this," he puzzled. "That may be so," the wise turtle grinned, "but this is no ordinary lure, for this lure is guaranteed to catch the special fish." "Guaranteed?" The young man's eyes brightened. "If that's the case, then when can I expect to catch it?" "Aha!" the wise turtle chuckled. "It could be today, it could be next week. There's no telling when, but mark my word, you will catch the special fish." Without another word, the young man was off. Back to the creek he went with the bottle cap lure affixed to his fishing line. With every cast, his determination only grew. But he didn't catch the special fish that day. Still, he kept trying, but he didn't catch the special fish that week. Still, he kept trying, but he didn't catch the special fish that month, or that season, or even that year. By now, the lure was well worn and on its last legs. Then one day, over a year from his encounter with the wise turtle, the young man was nearly dragged into the creek by a mighty tug on his line. Lo and behold, he reeled in a magnificent golden-scaled fish, far bigger and brighter than anything he had caught before. And sure enough, the wise turtle was watching from just a few paces away. "Bravo!" he said, startling the young man just as he did during their first encounter. The young man's face turned from shock to relief when he saw it was just the turtle again. "Well, I couldn't have done it without you," he smiled, admiring the special fish as he daydreamed about its value on the market. "Wrong you are," the wise turtle grinned. Sensing the puzzlement on the young man's face, he continued, "You see, there was nothing unique about this bottle cap lure, but seeing how talented of a fisherman you were, I was saddened to hear you were giving up on your pursuit to catch the special fish. We're often quick to give up on our dreams, but when we truly believe that success is only a matter of time, that our hard work will one day be worth it, only then can we continue casting our lines into the creek of our deepest aspirations."